Hey people, FlyingSoul still alive from Novosibirsk, and today we're gonna talk about real estate. I got a comment from my last video from one of you that was asking about this, and I thought it could be an interesting topic to talk about. First of all, a disclaimer as usual. I'm not talking as an expert, of course, because it's not my activity, not my job, but only as a user. And between selling and selling and buying flats and renting, I'm talking about the renting part because I never bought or sold anything here. I mean flats. So when it comes to renting, actually I have an experience in it, because in almost 3 years that I'm living here in Novosibirsk, in October will be 3 years, I moved already 4 times, which means I had 5 different flats. So I got a little bit of experience. I can tell you first of all that here the market is extremely fast, so which means that when you find a flat that you like, you have to take it immediately. You can't bind it and say, okay, I will think about it. It doesn't work here. And that's because of 2 main reasons. The first one is that usually it's part of their mentality. People, let's say that in some way they trust each other, though there are lots of fraud. I don't want to say that there aren't, but usually they trust each other. And the second one, it's because they don't ask a lot of details about the person who is going to live in that flat. And also because people move quite fast. This city, Novosibirsk, is the center of Siberia, so a lot of people come and go constantly. And that's also one of the reasons why the market is so fast. Then, how to find a flat? There are 2 ways which are the best. One is to go through a famous agency, one of the most popular agency that here in Novosibirsk of real estate, and the other one through acquaintances. In both cases, you can find, you can be quite sure that the place, it's nice, it doesn't have any kind of problems behind it, and you are trading with good people in general. And in my personal experience, I used both. And even this flat where I'm living now, I find it through an agency, and I was lucky really, because this flat I really enjoyed living here because it's exactly in the center. And I already talked about it. I made another video. You could just go and see it. And nowadays, I can tell you that if you want a 1-room flat in the very city center, it's up to 25,000 rubles per month. And yeah, probably even more, because now probably the fee changed. And another thing, when you rent a flat, you usually pay half of the rent of a month, half of the monthly rent to the agency, which is quite big deal, I'd say. And in addition, you have just to give a 1 month rent to the owner. So it's quite a big deal when you search for a place to live in, you know. I found this one is just it's fully, it has a full furniture inside, so I didn't need to buy anything. I brought my few stuff here, and I live quite comfortable. Then another thing, when you want to search for it, the main site which you can find advertisement is called avito.ru. And all the advertisements you find there are 99% owned or just managed by agency. It's extremely hard to find private-to-private trading, because unless you know someone, usually there is always an agency behind, a real estate behind. But that doesn't mean bad. In general, you have to pay this half of the rent, half the monthly rent, but it's quite a good deal if you are not looking for a huge apartment or flat to rent. And then these advertisements are usually on the internet. There are a lot of fakes, yes, but I say that the majority of these advertisements, they are real, but they do not show exactly the flat that you are going to rent. Not because they want to fool you, but because they post this flat, and as I told you, the market is so fast that they usually They usually give it away in a few hours. Sometimes they just put a standard advertisement in order to attract people, and then once you call it, they ask you the feature of the flat that you want, and they start to looking for it. And as I told you before, once you visit the flat, because they usually send you the picture of the flat when they found it, and once you go there and you meet the owner and you see the flat, you have to take it. If you don't take it, there is no way to bind a flat. There is no way here because, as I told you, the market is very fast, so if you don't take it, they will give it to someone else. I was lucky when I found this one. It was the first flat the last flat that I moved in, and also it was the first one that I was looking for when I was looking for this, and I found the best solution here, so I decided to take it. So that's basically all when it comes to renting up. There is one important thing. You need to know Russian. Because, yeah, if you trade with agents or real estate and general people, I mean, it's very hard to find someone who speaks properly English. Of course, they know some, but if you have to deal with them, you need to know Russian. So it's extremely important. Otherwise, just ask someone else to translate for you, and it will work out. So that's basically all. As usual, subscribe along these things, write comments and whatever, and see you to the next video. Probably the next one will be in Italy. See you.